Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
When drunkenness meets intellectualness meets bro science, you get bro soup time. This is Dean and the Boys.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is Dean and the Boys, brought to you by Bro Soup Time. I am Dean Mercer. I look around the room. I see some beautiful humans. To my left, we have Mr. Ryan Manheath.
I don't have a beer that cracks, but I do have... Oh, no. We're failing. It's not working. That took longer than it should have.
That was very anticlimactic. Ryan says hi. And for the first time in a long time, we have Triple C.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
He's back. He's back.
Hey.
We have Big Black Bronson.
Hey.
And Mr. Slut.
What's up? What's up?
And then the man with the smoothest ass crack in the game. We have Mr. Jason Bad.
Butthole.
So how's it going, guys? How is everyone? How's the weekend?
Made it.
We survived.
Survived.
Feeling good.
We made it another week.
Feeling
Did
good.
you guys have a wild weekend?
Bronson was real hammered.
I saw the Snapchats.
Love when you go third person.
Bronson and I went to the lake. He got drunk, tried operating heavy machinery one night.
Yep.
How'd that work?
Allegedly.
It was gonna
Hey,
work.
I tried. I sent a text message to Colby to watch him to make sure that he had a spotter. But I don't think
Speaking of seeing if it's going to work, Bronson, are you going to tell that story?
No.
I feel like you have to bring it up now.
Called out. And
why you
don't
gotta put
remember
him
that
on blast like that? Not even mention it before.
All right, we'll tell that story off the mic.
We all have that problem sometimes. Calm down. Let's relax.
Tune into the deleted scenes.
So what all did you guys do? You guys went to the lake.
Yeah, we went down to the lake, had a good time, did some bar hopping. We were on a really nice boat.
Super nice. It was huge.
Yeah, went bar hopping though, got crazy.
something happened because the hat looks a little new.
Yep. Lost the hat within 5 minutes on the first boat ride.
What were you doing? Were you trying to just like Titanic it at the front of the boat and then just blew off your head or
Just
what?
forgot and turned around and it went.
Fucking rookies.
Some people are just not cut out for the lake.
Some people aren't made for the lake. It was about 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, and we were playing some card games, and we stand up, and Bronson almost falls over, like at 11 a.m. I was like, you need to pull your shit together.
I had like a pile of empty beers too, and I was like, I think I drank a lot more than everybody
Yeah,
else.
he had like 8 or 9 beers in one game, and that was at like 10:30 in the morning.
You know, you play Circle of Death, and you got the thumb thing. Really bad at it.
I just kept asking. I was question master. I just kept asking him questions. He'd be like, "Yep."
It's not how you're supposed to play that.
Most people don't play that game at 10 o'clock in the morning either. So
That's true. It was actually raining, so we had some downtime.
We played Go Fish.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you guys playing that. It looked like a fun little
It
game.
actually, we turned my nephew's little kid game into a drinky game.
that's
fair.
classic lake material.
It's actually a lot harder than it looks.
That's a sign of being a good creative mind, is being able to take kids' games and turn it into drinking
Yep.
games.
Yeah.
You had to work with what you got. I
Yeah,
get
we
it.
improvised.
That should be a
lot.
podcast.
Did you guys have a
Ooh,
good
I like
weekend?
that.
Eric, did you do anything yesterday?
I went out. I did some stuff. It was a good time.
I did some stuff. Did some things.
I did some drinking this weekend. Way too much Rumpleman, but
You've already had a Rumplemans today.
I have one Rumpleman today. Well, yeah,
Wait, you got Rumplemans today?
I might have Rumplemans today.
Right?
It's Sunday fun day, whatever.
Yeah, he's drinking. He rarely drinks during these
It's called
podcasts.
lunch.
I had 3 of them with you last night.
I would like to say that Jason looks very uncomfortable right now.
I haven't heard much from you over there, man.
Tired, man.
Jason's dealing with some
Work
shit
all
right now.
night. Got like 3 hours of sleep. Wake up to have my butthole waxed.
Why'd you get 3 hours of sleep?
Because I work 10 to 7.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I don't really go to sleep until about 10. And I had to be here by 2.
We should probably give a shout out to Lauren. Good job, Lauren.
Yeah.
Lauren's in the studio today.
Yeah, this isn't our normal producer, Lauren. This is our cosmetologist friend / bartender friend, Lauren. And she
Asshole
came in.
expert.
Did you wash your hands, Lauren?
She was wearing protection. But before we get to that, yeah, my weekend was, I didn't do anything. I tried to arts and craft I didn't try, I just
That's
started.
not completely true. I got a Snapchat from you from Grandpa's house.
Yeah, I went to Grandpa. Oh, yeah.
Right.
We got to talk about that.
What kind of arts and crafts?
I was making a headboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So I arts and crafted a headboard. started on it at least. And then, yesterday I went up to Mom and Dad's, and we had to go down. Grandpa and Grandma are both in the hospital, so we had to go down to their house to feed the dogs. And Dad mentioned on the walk down, he's like, Grandpa's got a lot of weed growing.
Yes.
Like wild. And before, it's grown underneath his windmill. And he said, he ripped it out, and then it grew back. And I was like, you need help ripping that one out? And he said, nah, hell, I may need it someday. So he didn't do anything with it, but eventually it just died off. Well, on the walk down, Dad said, Grandpa's got a lot of weed growing down by the garden area. Like the garden, he doesn't maintain it anymore. And it's just the whole ring around it. Or does he? Yeah, right.
More so than you could think.
So all the way around it, there's just weed growing. Wild garden weed.
Weed.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody up for a road trip after this?
Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Harvest it.
So we got that going for us.
Yeah. Heading to A-Town.
That's about all. Yeah, we'll hit the milk house while we're there.
Obviously.
That's all I did, really. Came
Sounds
back
like-
home. I ate a bag of goldfish last night. Entire
Sounds
bag to
delicious.
myself. And it was amazing.
I ended up playing yard drinking games all day yesterday, which was a good time. Shout out to a buddy of mine, Derek, who just fell over and said, "Don't worry about me," and then took a little nap for about an hour out in the middle of the yard while beer darts and everything was going on. Then came to, and he was ready to go the rest of the evening.
I saw that Snapchat. I saw
Was
that
Bronson
Snapchat.
there?
Bronson was not there. Did meet up with Bronson later in that evening, though.
Rumplemans.
Rumplemans was taken then, too. But when we were doing the whole yard game thing, my buddy's neighbors are Mexican, and like I don't think really even one of the people that were over there could speak English very well. But we're like, fuck it, we've been outside drinking all day. Let's go over and say hi. So we went, and my broken-ass Spanish that I tried to put together. And they were really nice guys. They were cooking up some like carne asada tacos and like habanero and jalapeno peppers, and
Those are good friends to meet.
it was it was
wanna
good.
meet.
It was we were over there talking, drinking beers, and they were grilling up some stuff. And we asked them, like, how are we supposed to do it? And so they just charred a bunch of like peppers or the jalapenos, and they're like, just take a bite of the jalapeno, and then on the tortilla and the carne asada, like you just you eat that after you take a bite of the jalapeno. I was crying. It was so fucking spicy to me. And they were all laughing at me. They were like,
Normally when you grill a jalapeno, it takes a lot of the spice out.
nope, not these.
It still has the seeds in it. That probably
Were you talking like Manny the Godfather the whole time?
Yeah. Have you ever seen a fucking donkey dick? Like when it goes in, it's really fucking small. And when it comes out, it's like a fucking sombrero, man.
Love me some Manny clips. Actually, we need to have a little game where we should start going to Mexican restaurants and taking Snapchats and play the game of Where's Manny? Because he's missing and we need to find him. Manny, we miss you.
El culo.
But I remember the Snapchat of homeboy passed out there. You guys are just poking him with sticks.
Yeah, his wife was like hitting him in the dick with a stick.
Good wife.
I mean, not really like hitting it, but just kind of like poking at it. Like, hey, you alive? And he would, every once in a while raise the middle finger to us, and so that's how we knew he was
He also
okay.
tried to stick that stick up his ass, too.
Well, yeah.
Yikes.
All right?
When in Rome.
We know Colby's all right with that.
But we've already talked about it. Jason, he had to spin the wheel of punishment last week. You all heard it. He landed on ass wax. So today, as he said, with 3 hours sleep,
Yeah.
he had to come over, bend over our ottoman.
The video is awesome.
We need to disinfect that ottoman.
Yeah, we'll wipe
Just
it
buy a
down.
new ottoman.
We'll wipe it down for sure. Maybe I'll arts and craft one
Spread
for
your
us.
cheeks and lift your sack.
So without any further ado, let's throw to that and hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Hello, I'm Dean Mercer. And Jason over here is about to get his ass waxed, and this is going to be electric. Jason, real quick, how do you feel, bud?
I'm feeling good, man.
How nervous are you?
Very.
Did you wash up really good before this?
I did do that.
He gave a courtesy to you, Warren.
Yeah.
Thank you. How are you feeling about this?
I'm good.
All right, she's a professional. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing with that tongue suppressor?
All right. You don't need to spread them.
Yeah. Lean over and spread.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can't laugh because your butt cheeks can't get stuck together. Okay?
Ryan, how's the view back there?
I don't see any butthole, but
It's gonna be warm.
Well, side butt.
It's gonna be warm. Okay?
I can't stop laughing. I don't know why.
Ryan, put your microphone over there so we hear the rip.
Oh my god.
I'll get the rip.
Is there going to be a pulling off noise? Are you spreading your cheeks?
Oh
brother?
yeah, their cheeks are spread.
I got to come in for a better angle.
Are they fully spread?
Oh my god.
How does it feel, Jason?
That actually feels.
Oh god, it
nice.
looks terrifying. I looked.
Feels kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me know when you're going.
Okay.
It's got to settle.
I can't tell if it's tears or Jason's sweating.
Oh, it's tears from laughing.
Is it hot? Is it warm? Can you describe anything to us?
Yeah, it's just a little warm. You know, it's not nothing crazy. Oh.
How does that feel?
Oh no! Don't like that. Don't like that.
Okay, there's one side.
That was one cheek done already?
I have to do the top little part, but yeah.
Oh, his little rat tail there?
I'm not gonna lie though. This is. I've needed this done for a long time. So
Been meaning to get this done.
It's been on the to-do list for a while.
Oh, get that finger out of there.
Why are you trying to sneak fingers in? What are you doing over there? Are you straight blading them?
oh man.
I'm sweating for him.
I know, I'm nervous.
Oh goodness gracious.
Are we in the danger zone?
We've been in the danger zone. It's a butthole.
That's a good point.
No, I guess it's all dangerous.
I don't even really know how to commentate on this.
Either.
It's like, she's slowly
You got a
applying.
good angle, Ryan. Give us a play-by-play.
I feel like
Well, there's
Ryan
a
and
little-
Jason are much better friends now.
There's a little swirl with the tongue depressor.
It's kind of tiring. Like
Haven't
Having double.
yeah.
haven't really worked out your butt cheek muscles in a while of spreading.
My forearms are starting to burn a
this,
little
is
bit.
this is a second dab.
Oh, second dab. Okay.
It's
Okay.
hot.
Wow, really getting in on that one.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Make sure you get the actual hole itself, please.
You don't put it in the hole.
Oh, this is why I'm not doing it.
What's happening?
That's it. Here it comes.
What?
Thoughts? Thoughts, Jason's ass.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I felt like you just were constantly tearing on that one.
I heard that one. She took the gloves off.
It was just tear after tear after tear.
Yeah, so if he was to stop holding his cheeks, would his cheeks get waxed together?
Not anymore because it's dry.
Okay.
Oh.
He's got a very dry butthole.
The wax is dry.
She didn't so he doesn't have a dry butthole.
Very.
Oh no.
Get that on the mic. That's a good noise.
Jesus Christ. Damn.
It's not that bad.
Oh, this one's worse than the other side. Fucking roots are deep, I guess.
You nervous, Toot?
Quit laughing.
Oh, that was a big piece.
Jesus Christ.
That was a big piece. Are you getting goosebumps?
Oh, Jesus.
I saw it move.
I think it's winking at me.
Oh. Why is this side so much worse than the other one? I'm a lot smoother before.
Oh, it's all smooth.
Butthole hair.
No butt hair.
Sweet.
A lot more aerodynamic.
Good.
So Lauren hasn't seen balls in a very long time. How is it back there?
Are you
You know what's interesting is I've known Lauren since, 7th grade?
Did you ever think this day was coming?
No. No. That thought never crossed my mind.
One day that lady's going to wax my asshole.
Ass hair on my fucking...
I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting
Body.
for this for a very long time.
All right, that's it. I'm not
Do you have to
gonna
blow-
get farther
Do you have to
into
blow on it to cool it down?
A taint.
Ryan.
Hey, while you're there, do you want her to get your taint?
No.
Oh, she does not want that. So, how was he?
It was good. He's hairless now.
So is it a little sore?
It's all right. I mean, it might set in here in a little bit.
Feel like, is it super duper, like, can you feel it being smooth?
Kinda. We'll see here when I play basketball in here in a couple hours.
How's he going to feel, like, when it starts growing in?
Oh, is he going to have itchy butthole? Ooh, itchy butthole.
Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't.
So he's going to have an itchy butthole. Well, that's...
Yeah, are we supposed to powder him or anything?
Put some cooling gel.
Yeah, no cooling gel.
I feel like Jason needs a cigarette after that. Maybe even a beer. Who knows?
Basketball, I would put powder for sure.
Powder after basketball.
Like shower right after.
Put some icy hot on it.
If you guys go smoke, we'll set up for the podcast. Let's go.
That was exciting.
That
that
was
was-
hilarious.
That was awesome.
There was a couple rips in there that I cringed. I was like, Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
Oh, how many were there?
Oh, it was. Well, you have to do one side, and then you flip it to the other side, and then I don't know. Well, there was probably a good. Well, she was picking at it to try to get a.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You got to get a grip on the wax, and she couldn't get it. You could just hear like the little tears of her trying to grab onto the wax, and it
Yeah.
Well,
did
I'm
not
picturing
sound good.
when Colby and I did it. We got
Whoa.
Colby, when we
I
got
was passed
waxed-
out.
When we got waxed, our chest. I kind of understand the process, but that just sounds awful. Like, ew.
I think the chest was a lot worse. I mean, he had a couple big veins popping out of his head on a couple of those tears, but nothing too serious.
Every time, and I'm gonna look at Lauren on this, but so we'll relay what she says because she doesn't have a microphone over there. But when he was laughing, was it like what was winking at you or something?
No, it wasn't. It was.
Because you said stop laughing, so I assumed it was.
When he was laughing, he wasn't like holding them apart.
Has anyone here tried to laugh and hold your butt apart at the same time? Because it actually sounds hard.
100% gonna try it after this podcast is over.
It ain't easy.
That should be on the wheel.
What hurt the most? What part was the worst about that?
Probably the right side. I don't know what the fuck. Like those roots on those hairs were deeper or something. But she was like just like over and over again. I was just like, fucking rip it, man.
Are you right-handed?
Yeah.
So you wipe with your right. So that's probably stronger hairs over there. That's just science.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
Those hairs have evolved.
You really thought this through.
I mean,
I really like Bronson's idea of like Lauren getting in a power stance over the top of him and just ripping from above. I thought that would have
Get the
been
two-handed rip
Yeah.
in there.
yeah.
Really get in there.
Really make sure it's smooth.
Yeah, I was holding the mic for you, man, and I could see. I don't know if you were laughing from right before, like if the tear was from anticipation or from when
It was laugh.
we were just laughing so hard before we started that you were just crying from that.
Yeah,
I was nervous for you. I was
laughing.
over there sweating up a storm.
I was giggling like a
God,
child
dude.
because I thought it was the
I
funniest
had
shit
to fucking
ever.
drop trowel in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
Ryan was right there. I feel like you guys are much better friends now.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like the whole group is a lot better friends now.
You brought us together. You and
You and
your
your,
ass.
your butthole brought us all together.
My butt hairs.
I never thought that would be said. I'm glad it was.
Are you going to
happy it
dermaplane
was.
it later or not? No. Okay.
Well, what's funny is Lauren that did it. You said you've known her since 7th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
young
would've
innocent
thought?
children and grow up to having one wax
when-
the other person's
One day
butthole.
Did
she's
you have ever imagined your relationship would go to that point?
They were on the playground. Lauren looked at him one day and was like, I'm waxing that butthole. I'm waxing that butthole.
you just wait.
I'm gonna get me some.
Wasn't it like you said it was starting to like your forearms and stuff were starting to get tired. Just
Yeah, man. Just
trying
go.
to pull the cheeks apart and
Yeah.
just reaching back or like
And I'm
having,
laughing and
Oh, this is too good.
yeah.
If you guys want to see that video, it'll for sure be up on our YouTube page. It'll be up on Facebook for sure. Be sure to get on and share that with everybody.
Oh, the world.
Yeah,
Let's go viral.
definitely share that with everybody.
we did it tastefully too. There's no close-ups of the butthole.
It
Yeah.
looks like a very nice porno studio in there.
It did look a little.
Yeah,
It did look a
not
little
gonna lie.
pornish.
You guys get a little porny yet?
Well, you got the tripod,
Tripod.
and then you had the lights up
And the
back
ottoman.
behind them, and then the ottoman, the nice leather ottoman. It looked like something from a porn.
Looks like something I've watched before.
There was towels on the ground just in
When
case.
I walked in, I was like, something went down.
Yeah.
thought
It
it
was
was in the
it was
air.
musty in there.
One of the first things before we get started, Bronson looks at Lauren and goes like, "What happens if like something squirts?" She's like, "What the fuck is going to be squirting out here?" Like, we need to get Lauren a face shield.
Like
or
he's going to
something.
leak out of his asshole.
We should have got Lauren like a catcher's mask.
So that just saying it looked like a porn studio in there made me think of something. So for people that don't know, the studio is also, it doubles as our garage.
Garage.
So when I was building this headboard, or anytime I do anything out here, and I have the garage door open, and people like walk by or drive by and they look in and see, studio lights up and microphones everywhere. I always feel like they're like, what the fuck do those guys do in there?
Jason bent over the table.
Now they know.
Every Sunday, 6 guys show up to this house, and I assume they go in that studio.
And
we don't see 'em for
Every
hours.
once in a while, one girl.
Yeah. That's true. I didn't think of it that way.
And they're always named Lauren, which is also weird.
Dude, I was really, speaking of like people driving by and like looking in and seeing stuff, I was really hoping you were going to show up like right in the middle of Jason's punishment. Yeah. Like you just open the door to just butthole.
His brown eye just winking at you.
I tried to hurry.
If you subscribe to our show, then we'll send you the other angle.
A very intimate one.
And if you have more suggestions for the Wheel of Punishment, questions at Bro Soup Time. We want to hear from you. Send us suggestions. But so in researching for filming that, I had to see what we could do.
You did research for filming this?
Well, I had to know like what can you show on
Is this
YouTube?
just an excuse to watch porn?
Yeah, pretty much. So I had to do research because some guys at work, that listen, they came up and they're like, "How are you going to film that?" And I was like, "Well, we're just so side butt." And they were like, "We're not going to show his asshole put it on YouTube or Facebook." And they're like, "You can." And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? And they're like, "Look up waxing videos on YouTube." So I did. And there's there's a male Brazilian wax where there's just a dick out there on YouTube.
It's hard? Or what is that?
No. I'm just saying it's out there. So, yeah, they're just showing this dick and this dude's waxing it. I mean, and when he does the Brazilian wax, he gets like 2 inches from the tip of the shaft. So there's wax on
he
the
goes
shaft.
up the shaft.
Boom, rips it.
By himself? No one around.
No, there was a guy, he was getting waxed. So there was a guy doing it to him.
Oh.
A gay man, if I had to guess.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Hard pass.
I don't have
Easy with the
hair
hard
on that
pass
part of
comment.
my-
Yeah, hard pass.
Maybe a soft pass. I don't
So
know.
I did research for that to see what we could show. I was like, man, I guess if Jason was comfortable, we could just show whatever we wanted.
I think that's how we get banned from Facebook. Then.
Yeah. And then I saw of course, there was an anal bleaching on there. It was a pretty hot gal. I watched that for sure.
Oh, you're going
I
to
thought
say
you were
4
gonna
times.
I thought you said 4 times too. I
watched that
thought it
4 times.
And that was also true.
Yes. But no, she was super hot. And yeah, just right there, just this girl holding her ass apart and this girl spreading bleach on it. And
That's all you do?
yeah, it's like a lotion.
So when they say bleaching, they're literally just bleaching it.
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic. I thought there was going to be more to it. But so then,
But you still watched it 4 times?
as when you're watching YouTube, you go down a rabbit hole. So then right next to it, boom, is a very attractive black woman.
Recommended for you videos.
Yes. Very attractive black woman that says, in the title, says, "Do you have a small penis?" So I was like,
For sure, click on
okay, I clicked on that. I watched the 9-minute video.
He's been depressed ever since.
Yeah.
that. That's why I didn't go out this weekend.
It had me questioning things. She's very attractive. She was more into girth than length. But of course you can't. She kept holding up her pinky, and she's like, "You can't have that." But if my fingers can touch, if I can touch my thumbnail, you have a skinny dick. If they barely touch or they don't touch, we'll get along just fine.
I'll be right back.
So she's more of a. She's more of a,
Can we pause
yeah,
this?
she's more of a tuna can gal. Like,
Yep.
Knock out the bottom, but fuck up the sides.
Some girl might like length, some like girth, I guess. It's a rule of thumb.
Yeah, and she kept saying like, if it's too long, you're just gonna be.
Rule of thumb, that's where it comes from.
I had no idea. You learn something new every day.
I do actually know the true story about the rule of thumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
Well, I like Colby's version.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
Used to be able to, Boondock Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, you used to be able to
you'll
hit.
go ahead and tell them what it is.
Go for it.
Colby's got it.
No, I don't, because I still believe in it.
Wait, what?
For people that don't know, you used to be able to beat your wife with a stick as long as it was no thicker than your thumb, right?
Rule of thumb. Yep.
Yeah.
I like Colby's rule of thumb better.
But also, so I watched the dick size video, and then there was a white girl. I was like, let's get her perspective. But she was a lot more reserved, didn't seem as comfortable. I didn't watch that whole thing. But then last week we had an issue with our camera. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the SD cards, they show empty on the computer, full in the camera for some reason. Guess who taught me that? How to fix that?
YouTube.
It was YouTube, but it was a fucking like 9-year-old kid on there, and I made me feel like an idiot. And a lot of times when you look up stuff, it's kids explaining it.
I thought you were going to say the woman getting her butt bleached.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
That same chick. It was weird.
I was trying to
a 2-in-1 video.
I was trying to figure out where the segue was going. I was like, this is a weird transition right here. So anyways, I was watching this
That would've been
waxing
funny
video,
if
and
she
our
was-
SD card was full.
Let's go.
That's weird that she would have that many different kinds of how-to videos.
Wide range of wide spectrum.
How to clear out your SIM card and how to bleach your asshole by the same chick.
So my YouTube experience
first-
last night was very diverse.
Yeah, so you start with like how to fix your SD card, and you end with dick waxing and butthole bleaching.
And how big is your dick is in there? Is in the sandwich right in the middle there.
I feel like you
kinda
should have
wanna-
recorded all of this.
Yeah, right.
Research that now.
I thought
We
you,
know what
said, I
Jason's
thought you
doing after
didn't have
this.
an
See.
adventurous weekend. That sounds like a very adventurous weekend.
I would love to go through Mercer's recently viewed videos on YouTube.
You don't want to do that. Ryan and I already have an agreement. You destroy my computer if I die.
Yeah, that's true.
don't even clear the search. Just break it. Just take a hammer to it.
Immediately throw it in the fire pit.
You know we're not going to do that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be put on blast.
Yeah. It'll be a podcast.
Wow, this guy was really into trannies, huh?
But we already all do that.
We'll do a whole hour episode of his backdrop.
I don't
of
think
his
an hour's.
computer.
I don't think an hour's long enough.
Then we'll get a projector in here and put it up on the wall.
That'll be a multi-part series.
Yeah, we can do about 4 different weeks of that.
Yeah. Well, let's break into the news here.
I'll only be here for one.
1 for 4. That's his move.
So I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name. I'm going to say Valet.
Yeah.
Gilberto Valet, who is also known as the Cannibal Cop, is giving up a custody battle for his daughter due to legal fees. Valet was acquitted and released from prison in 2014 after being convicted 2 years earlier on charges that he planned to kidnap and eat women. Yikes. His ex-wife fears her daughter may become a victim. Now, when I was reading this, I was like, man, why would he target his daughter? Like, for sure he would target other people.
Give him more
You didn't think
respect.
what a good dad?
Give him more. Give him more respect than that.
So I did some more research into it, and it says analysis of his computer showed that he was taking concrete steps to abduct his wife and 5 other women that he knew and wanted to make meals out of them.
He's hungry.
Yeah,
That's fucking wild.
Times are rough.
it's
Wow.
crazy. And it's a fucking cop.
It's a recession.
Have you seen the price of beef?
Yeah, so he was an ex-cop, or when he got busted, was he a cop at the time? Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
He got busted. I think he was on the block of one of the women he planned and got paid like $5,000 to abduct this girl.
Someone
What do you mean? Someone else paid him to
Yeah.
abduct her?
Like, he was a
part of,
real
like,
bad
chat
cop.
blog or something that
Yeah.
talked about
I
all
feel like
this.
he needs to start hanging out with that chick we were talking about last week that was barbecuing up
Psycho
her
Yeah.
exes.
Yeah.
It's just weird that there's chat rooms like we just learned from YouTube. It's vast wilderness out there.
Yeah.
Freaking on the underworld too.
like
There's
a dark-
chat rooms for eating women.
Yeah, it's like the dark forest in Harry Potter. Like, there's just shit out there that you don't want to know.
The dark web.
Yes,
Yeah,
the dark
that's a
web.
real thing.
I always kind of wanted to get involved in that. I don't think so anymore.
Where's the white web?
To get to the
Jesus.
to get to the dark web though, isn't it? Don't you almost have to be like a hacker?
Oh, you
like
have
isn't
to be
like not just like we couldn't get to it, right?
No, I think
you
you
have to
can.
know how to get past because like Spectrum, I know for a fact like you sign an agreement saying that you're not going to go onto the dark web in order to use their service. So the people that are doing it know how to get past that firewall into whatever
Right.
whatever
We
it
need to
is.
find
Because
somebody-
the internet that we use is like maybe 1% or less of what's actually out there.
We
So
need
you
to
remember
become-
like not the grapevine, Silk Road, I think is what it was
Yeah,
called.
that was on the dark web.
Where you could buy like drugs online.
And a hitman and guns and
Whatever
you
the
buy
fuck you
RPGs,
wanted
whatever
to.
you wanted.
How is the government not regulating this? I mean, they're like busting
It's
people.
just hard because those people also know how to change their IP address. So like you can buy programs that change your IP address. So it'll be like one day it'll be in Dallas and then it'll ping it in fucking Stockholm, Sweden, and then it'll ping it in fucking Indonesia. Like it just moves your IP address all around the world. So it's hard to track
And for those-
exactly where you're at.
For those that don't know, after I watched the documentary Silk Road, that's called a Tor browser. Ask me if I have a Tor browser on my computer.
Do you have a Tor browser?
I have a Tor browser on my computer. And I tried to find out more about how to get onto the dark web, and I couldn't
The
figure it
FBI
out.
is definitely showing up at our house.
Yeah.
Like next week.
I just,
we need to
Trainees
get
in
more
dark
nerdy
web.
friends that can. I want
I'd like
to
to
see what's going on.
Yeah, I'd like to because there's a Silk Road 2.0. I think it might have got shut down, but there's another
Oh yeah.
thing that popped
Is
up.
Silk Road a documentary? Or
Yeah.
what? Oh,
But it's also used to be a website like that was on the dark web where you could order anything, a hitman,
Anything, man.
yeah, anything you
Were you
wanted.
trying to order trannies?
No,
You don't have to have the dark
anymore.
web for that.
We got a guy. What?
so yeah, you can get on there if you want. It's just I couldn't figure it out because I was just like you. I was curious. I wanted to try to get on Silk Road and be like, so I could just hit add to cart and
Have
get a kilo here.
mass amount of fucking like ecstasy or some
Yeah.
shit.
So was that documentary on is that on Netflix?
Yeah, it's HBO, Amazon, or Netflix. It's something. But
Silk Road.
You can try to get on the darknet for your phone. I definitely know that's.
Oh, there's a marketplace on Wikipedia.
Speaking of which, I'm watching that documentary right now on Netflix about the bank robbery. Have you
Oh,
Evil Genius.
I watched
Yes.
it. I watched
Yeah.
it at work.
That
That's
shit's
crazy.
fucking wild.
That is
That
craziest
bitch
thing.
is fucking psychotic.
Craziest thing I've seen. Very smart.
Smart
well
as
played
hell.
out.
It's usually how it happens though. Like geniuses, like it's like I feel like rare that one's like functioning.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Have you guys
There's
heard
a
about
lot
that?
of
I
people
mean,
are
it's
fucking
about a bank
smart,
robbery.
man.
I think we were talking about.
So I had seen that video before of the guy with the bomb around his neck and surrounded by cops. I had seen the video before. My bosses showed it to me a long time ago at one of my jobs.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I didn't know the story around it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Evil Genius thing on Netflix popped up, and yeah, I watched it at work Thursday night. And wow,
Crazy.
yeah. I mean, there's just these people plotted. They all turned on each other, and it was crazy. That bitch is.
didn't get the
nuts.
money.
Don't ruin it. I'm only one episode in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Episode 2, a little slow. 2 and 3 pick up though.
You know what's
Or
funny
3
though
and 4.
is like Netflix keeps coming out with these like great movies and like documentaries and stuff, and like big time producers and directors they hate it. Like Steven Spielberg, he's like Netflix movies shouldn't be nominated for awards. He's completely anti Netflix for some reason.
He's a big studio guy.
yeah, and
Didn't
but that lets you know that like they're doing something right.
Didn't Netflix buy up like a bunch of scripts and stuff
Oh, they
a long
bought up
time,
a
like
shit
years
ton
ago,
of
and bought up
stuff.
all these
Adam
scripts?
Sandler's been doing just Netflix videos for like
Yeah.
years.
He had a
He'll be
6-picture
making-
deal with them.
Yeah, he'll be making. They make deals with obviously comedians and whatnot.
The dudes from Workaholics, they signed a deal with Netflix too.
Yeah,
They've been doing
Chris.
movies.
I think Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle both got like $50 million to do X amount of stand-ups for him.
I think Chappelle's his was only like I think it was a 4. Made
He's at
40?
2
For what?
now.
four.
Four.
Oh,
stand-ups.
yeah.
Because in the last one he talks about it as the last one, and he wasn't going to do it anymore for a while because he set the bar too high.
Those are good. If you haven't, if all of that's good. Evil Genius.
Icarus.
Yeah, Icarus is really good.
There's some that suck though.
Yeah, there are some that are good, but
We're trying to be positive.
Making a Murderer, holy shit! Making a Murderer is
I
wild.
still haven't watched that.
Oh, it's wild.
So let's get back to the news
Poor
here.
simple man.
We have. I'm not going to pronounce this guy's last name. I can't do it.
Not even going to try.
His first name is Horace. He's 20 years old. He's from Kenya, and he just received a life-changing surgery to reduce the size of his gigantic
yeah.
penis and testicles.
Yeah, that's look.
Get like a 3-pound dick.
Yeah, have you
No,
seen that?
homeboy had a 3-foot-long dick
3 foot
An
long
11-pound
and
testicle.
11-pound testicles.
Was it elephantitis? Did they say?
Well, so they aren't for sure why his penis and testicles grew so large, but they think it could stem from a mosquito bite that he suffered when he was 10. And then it goes on to say the bite released larvae under his skin, which then developed worms that blocked his drainage system. And then the tissue surrounding the genitalia swelled, causing scrotal elephantitis.
It's like monsters inside me type shit.
Poor guy.
So I know,
How old was he?
20 years old.
20 years.
He like
old.
couldn't walk. He couldn't sit. Like
He had to drop out of school because of it.
yeah.
He walked like he was bow-legged.
Call that the rule of arm.
These rules. Rule of thumb. Rule of arm.
So if you have a 3-foot dick and then you have to get it a penis reduction, do you for sure still tell him like, hey, still make it impressive, you know?
Yeah.
Don't
like-
take too much at the time.
It's like that. It's like that catalog of dicks thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, yeah, I want that one.
You should message that girl on YouTube and ask her, be like, "Is this the girth you're looking for?"
God, could you imagine? Imagine that was like my thigh.
Dude, he would have
Yeah.
his dick would have to sit shotgun. You'd have to sit in the back seat all the time.
That guy has a real lap hog. Like for
yeah, a whole lower body hog.
now we have
He's from Kenya. I don't think he has a car, Eric.
Well, he's not
Oh.
running anywhere with that thing.
and that brought up I know they don't have a lot of money there, but sure they're I don't know what they trade, but for sure someone like gives them a little bit of like here's this whatever. Can I see your dick?
Oh, I'm sure.
Like for sure, was it? Did he ever make it a sideshow attraction? You think?
Why wouldn't you?
Make
I mean,
money
how
off of what
did
you
you
can.
hide it
wouldn't
from
you?
the get-go?
We'll see a Netflix thing on it here in a month or so.
Well, there's that dude on Tosh.0.
That was loud. Sorry.
This dude on Tosh.0,
Very
he had like a tumor on his ball sack, and he had to wear like a hoodie upside down. In order
Really?
Yeah.
In the hood, like cradled one of his
Yeah,
nuts.
for real.
Oh,
That's
just
genius.
support.
That thing
Just
was
need support.
fucking huge, dude. I was like, and I don't understand why he didn't have it removed. Like, people have offered to help him pay for surgery to get it removed.
I want one of you to wear a
want
hoodie
to.
upside down to the bar and be like, I'm just using it to hold my dick.
What are you guys doing next weekend? Let's do it. I'm in.
Shit.
The next one,
Let's put it on the wheel.
Rashawn Richardson fooled everyone at Hillcrest High School in Dallas, Texas. Richardson played basketball and would sometimes drop up to 30 points in a game.
balling.
One problem: the supposedly 17-year-old is actually 25-year-old Sidney Portley.
Oh.
Yeah, Portland told officials that he was a Hurricane Harvey refugee, and the Dallas school superintendent says that during those situations, the district temporarily waives ID requirements. So then after 9 months, one of Portley's old coaches tipped off authorities. He was now arrested and charged with tampering with government documents. Homeboy also had a 14-year-old girlfriend, so you got to imagine that's...
I mean, that's going to come back and bite him in the ass a little bit.
What an idiot.
He just couldn't let go of the dream.
For real.
That's exactly what they said. Like he just wanted to relive the glory days, and
So is it weird that I kind of want us all to do that? And go play football someplace all together?
Jesus. Man.
Eric's the only one that could get by as a high schooler.
Thank you.
I mean, I think that's accurate.
We'd all have to come in as seniors, though, because I don't think any one of us are passing for a freshman.
No.
Well, that's what they did on
Everybody
the
looks
show on
there.
A&E.
Yeah. I was like,
Maybe I'll be a
Seen
junior.
that? They had a show on A&E called Undercover High, and it's actually in
Oh, I did see
Topeka,
that. Yeah.
at Highland Park or something
Yep.
in Topeka. And these people, I think the oldest one was 23, and the youngest one was they were all of age, 21 or older. But the whole school knew that they were coming in. You know what I mean? They obviously had to let parents know that they're doing it. But
Yeah.
they never released identities and shit like that. And I'm watching this show and I'm just like, these people really can't tell that these motherfuckers aren't 17.
so what was the point of it?
Oh, just to see what it's like as a high
high schooler
schooler now. And the very first episode, there's this brother and sister. They're Hispanic, and they get to school, and everyone's texting each other about the new kid and shit like that. And these kids, these dudes are on their group chat, I'm gonna rape that bitch and shit like
Yeah.
that, dude. These fucking
Well, the first 5 minutes of her getting there.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
16-year-old
Jesus.
kids.
So they're going to rape who? One of the ones
one
that
of
was...
the one undercover people, undercover students. Yeah, man.
Is that what's going on in high school these days?
Immediately, the first day,
weirdos.
she finds out that there's texts like that going around. I'm just like,
I know.
See, I feel
I don't ever remember being that aggressive in high school.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. We just wanted to get some beer and hang out in a buddy's basement. That was our
or on the
big...
train bridge, or
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds like we fit in a lot better now, though.
Whoa.
Okay.
I used to have to send that through my beeper.
You know how long that took to type out with that T9 shit?
oh yeah, man.
Oh, you remember T9?
Text
so
messages
T9.
used to be.
I still
short.
use it.
They used to be real short.
But you could...
I wish I still had my pager.
I just remember, with the T9, you could text without looking at your phone. You could just I could just hold it down, and I just remembered where everything was, But now with
The full
Yeah,
keyboard.
you got
the full keyboard and it's touchscreen, you don't know what the fuck you're typing.
Right.
But you remember, I know at West, the cell phone rules, once they started becoming a problem, kids texting all the time, it was first one, you get your phone, first what do you call it?
Offense.
Offense, yeah, first strike, you get your phone taken away, and you had to get it back at the end of the day. Second time was you had to have your parent come up to get your phone back, and then the third time was they keep it for the rest of the year.
I don't even know how they do it anymore.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, so how do they do it now? Because
Everyone's
has
on
a
their
phone.
Well, and when we were in high school,
Everybody has a phone.
you had to pay 10, 15
Oh,
cents
yeah.
for
Yeah, it
a
was
text
10
message.
cents a text.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My mom used to get so mad at me because we only had 200 texts a month.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
you were doing
I get
200
into
a day?
high school, girls would text me and she'd get mad at me like, "Yo, you're going over the limit," and I'm like, "It's not me texting them, like it's them
got
texting
bitches texting me, Mom.
And she, you can look at the records back then, and she'd be like, "He ain't lying." You know?
I remember you could also get like free texting and calls after like
After
after
like 9 p.m. or something.
yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like I remember I'd be getting off of work and I'd be like watching the clock and it's like 8:58 and I'm just like waiting for 9 o'clock to hit so I can start calling everybody and trying to figure out what was going on that night.
That was awesome. I
Struggle.
do remember that.
Kids today don't know the struggle.
I remember
They don't know the struggle. They don't know to get to T. You had to hit like 7 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember my first run-in with that was in college, and I got a girlfriend in college, and we were texting back and forth, and I had never really texted before because I went to school with my friends. We just talked to them there,
Right.
and then now we're texting during class all night and everything.
Did Jamie know this?
Yikes!
Whoa.
So then I
Drop the
got
names, huh?
I got
About
a
this no name dropping.
I got a
Yikes.
call from my mom one night, and she's like, "You owe us $175."
Oh shit!
I was like, "For what?" And she's like, "Your text messages are out of control." So
You got the wrong number, Mom.
'Cause you got charged
no habla
outgoing
español.
and income. You got the outgoing charge, and then like it was more expensive to receive. Right.
It was ridiculous.
like 10 cents a fucking text.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I think my sister one time racked up like a $250 texting bill.
Oh man, I bet your dad was mad.
Yeah, they were not happy about that one.
If I was mad at a friend, I would just send one letter at a time.
Well, in British Columbia, Canada, they have a real problem. There's 14 feet have washed ashore over the last decade.
14
foot check.
human
Like
toes.
a human
Human
foot.
feet. Human feet.
Human feet.
Stop talking about my feet.
Eric, foot check. You
Yeah,
got
my
him?
feet are looking good.
Man foot.
Nine of the
Let me look.
14 feet have been ID'd.
You want to take my shoes off?
And they say it belongs to like 6 people.
Have they traced back where these feet are? Like whose they are?
Well, they say
They've identified like
it's Canada too, so I figure like I almost assume they give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but they say there's no suspected foul play, and they say that all the feet are from suicides and accidental drownings.
I guess I don't get it. So,
Where's the rest
Something
of it?
out there.
right, where's the rest?
Like to eat
well,
the
they're
feet.
saying that like the feet are
There's
protected
still
by
shoes on them.
shoes, so like they don't decompose, I guess, as quick, and you don't have like the marine life kind of
Nibbling at it.
So like it's somewhat protected in the shoes, so that's the reason why you're not finding
That's
more of the
wild.
bodies.
But I'm saying there's a serial foot amputator. Yeah, I like amputator.
Amputator.
But that's all that. This is a really weird one.
Speaking of like I guess like they keep finding them in like brush piles and stuff on the side of the river. Like you're just walking your dog and it's like something out of a horror film. You're walking your dog and you just see feet
Right.
everywhere.
Imagine if you found a foot, a human foot. I mean,
You gotta think you're probably gonna die too.
That's it. Oh yeah, like am I next? My foot's for
Immediately
sure gone now.
looking
This is
around.
now a horror movie.
I just saw something I wasn't supposed to.
yeah. Like
That's straight out of Stephen King.
right, exactly.
yeah.
There, and this is a weird segue, probably out loud, but in my head it is like normal. But like, how many bodies are in like Lake Tahoe?
Oh, just
Oh, dude.
Like, just because it's like what is it, like a 1,200 foot deep lake or something
Right.
like that? And
mean-
I heard rumors had it like mafia used to dump bodies there all the time. I heard water and body parts, and that's where my mind went.
Lake
was
Michigan,
Lake Tahoe.
right?
Or
Isn't that a
like-
big one?
yeah.
The Great
Yeah.
Lakes.
The Great Lakes, but yeah, Lake Tahoe's Cali. How far is that from Oakland?
It-
No, I'm not putting any correlation there. I'm just saying.
You absolutely
not
are.
that
And you should.
It's like a 6-hour drive.
Oh, that's pretty far.
So when I was in
Is Tyler, where is
Fallon, Nevada,
No, it's in
it's
Nevada.
like 6
Okay.
hours.
but in and on the border.
it's close to the border, yeah.
It's there.
I think like
You can do whatever you
some
want
of the
in
lake
Nevada,
is in
right?
California.
Yeah,
Most
I think
it's in
part of
Nevada,
it.
though.
Because we have a buddy that lives in Lake Tahoe, and he's in lives in
It's
California.
like crystal clear water too.
Oh,
Like,
it's
I want
beautiful.
I want to
dude.
get down there. And,
It's cold as fuck, dude. I
Yeah.
went there a couple, like 2-3 summers ago.
How's it so cold?
The lake
Because
itself.
it's fed from the mountain, the snow melt from the mountain.
Comes down
It's
from
so
Utah.
even in the middle of summer, it's like I swear to God, it was like 30 degrees in that fucking water. As soon as I jumped in, I got right out.
I heard
It was
I've
not
heard it's really
pleasant.
good fishing. That would be a fun trip to get like all of us to take like an Airbnb.
we got
down
okay.
in
So
Tahoe.
no, we have a friend that has a big house there, and he said we can go anytime.
It's
done.
beautiful out there. Beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Colby knows the guy.
Michael, he
knows
went
the guy.
goes on went on our ski trip. I met him on a cruise.
Yeah, I got you. So tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said anytime.
So this next one, I just have it's a little blurb, but Okay, I'll just read it. An Oklahoma woman was killed on May 10th after being attacked by 7. How do you say that?
Dachshunds.
That's how you spell
Wiener
Dachshund?
dogs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wiener dogs.
Yeah, wiener dogs weighing up to 40 pounds each.
40
And-
pound? Wiener
And
dogs?
one border
Big
collie.
wiener dog.
That's
Well,
Dachshund
the one was a
is a-
mix. They were
Dachshund.
Dotson terrier mixes
And then there was one border collie.
and one Dotson border collie mix.
Yeah.
And they did what?
Lassie went on a fucking murder spree.
They killed.
They killed a woman.
They killed a woman.
She was like 50-some years old.
Just attacked by wiener dogs.
I feel like you could just, as they come, just like punt
Yeah,
them,
bro.
and it'd be fine.
But I mean, she's an older woman. and
But dude, if you see,
She wasn't that old.
so if you see her picture though, she was a large woman, the biggest nose I've ever seen. The absolute biggest. She looks like a character from Moana with like a cartoon nose.
Really?
Moana. Great movie.
Like it was absurd. But I feel like you could just punt these things left and right as they come.
We're all in agreement that the border collie was 100% the ringleader of that group, right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have they found this gang? Yeah.
Oh yeah. one was
Are they
shot on
still-
site.
Are they
Probably.
at large?
I'm guessing the border collie was shot.
Yeah, and then they were all euthanized at a
like,
shelter.
Did they say if they're like rabid or something?
Well,
They're
they
from a neighbor.
but they were covered in
Yeah, that is a giant nose. You're absolutely
they were
right.
covered in like ticks and fleas and stuff, so they don't think they were taken very good care of. It's almost
So
like
they
they were.
revolted. It was really her fault that she
they're like
deserved it.
hungry or something.
Well, it wasn't her dogs, was it?
No, she
it was
just
a
stood
neighbor.
by and watched as they were abused. So she's like taking you down first.
But did you read a couple? It was like a month ago that girl that was eaten by her dogs. She went on a jog with her own dogs, and they were out in the woods, and she never came home, and her parents went looking for her, and she was mauled by her own dogs.
Holy shit!
2 of them, and she loved them, took good care of them. Like she was a pretty girl too. I mean, she just got mauled by her pit bulls.
Jesus, that's aggressive.
They thought something happened, like a struggle, or maybe like she got in an altercation with someone, and the dogs just didn't know what to do. But they were like, no, they just mauled her.
I feel like Mickey wants to maul me sometimes.
I've been mauled by Mickey.
I've seen him look at you that way too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mickey
wow,
don't
that
take
is
no
a scary
shit.
nose.
It's giant.
That's huge.
Yeah, it takes up half her face, and she's got a big face.
So what happened? She just like fall over and like they went for the throat. Like
They had to have tripped her up first. Like when one of them went over there, all friendly, had to have tripped her up, started ankle biting, and she's a large woman, fell down, and then I imagine that border collie just went straight for the jugular.
yeah, border collie's a dick.
Right.
Oh, she was a cute girl too.
Yeah, mauled by her own dogs.
I mean, that lady doesn't look like she was ready to take on any dogs.
Yeah,
By any
she's definitely not outrunning anything anytime soon. Well, definitely not now. She's dead.
R.I.P. Too soon.
Yikes!
R.I.P.
Thoughts and prayers.
So that's all the absurd news. What do we have for sports, guys?
Sports from a Royals and Chiefs standpoint, it's been kind of quiet.
Well, should we talk about the sports book first?
We could probably talk about the sports book
sports
first.
betting? Yep.
Let's talk about sports betting.
I want to figure out a way. So basically, what's going on is
Thank you, Colby.
Congress removed the what's the
Congress
acronym?
didn't. The Supreme Court did.
Supreme
They
Court.
overruled that Congress overstepped their bounds.
Gotcha. But what was the acronym for the betting act?
PASPA, P-A-S-P-A,
Yeah, and it was back in '94, I think, is what it said.
something like that. Early
Yeah.
90s.
So it basically said that it was legal to gamble in any state besides Nevada because Nevada was grandfathered in with Vegas and whatnot. But just pretty much took that off the books and says it's up to the state whether or not the states want to let sports gambling happen.
Hell yeah.
So pretty much everybody's going to start betting. And some of the statistics, like even though like so much money is exchanged in Nevada or Las Vegas
Legally.
it's still only like 5% of like the actual sports betting industry. Like $150 billion a year estimated is what Americans do illegally in sports betting.
Like, that's fucking awesome. I want Kansas. We should open up a sports book.
You got to start thinking about
It'll be based out of the casinos like Hollywood and stuff like
the
that.
problem with that though is like college. It's going to turn into college sports betting, right? I mean, now
Oh, it's all
you're
sports
talking. Well, right now you're talking 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are going to
getting
have aren't getting paid. They're going to have all this pressure on them. I mean, people are going to be like, "I lost so much money." You know what I'm saying? These kids are going to get heckled the rest of their lives if they mess up. I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
Well, they
for-
already get it.
It's
Pat
already
McAfee talks
got
about when he
things.
missed like 2 field goals in a game, he got 7 death threats.
Right. I don't know. I see a problem with that.
Are you worried about like them, like college student? I don't think in the pros it's that big of a deal considering the amount of money that they make now. But are you
they had that
worried
one-
about the college
fixing the
athletes,
games.
like
right? Fixing
games?
the games. I mean, imagine if someone walks up to you and is like, "Yeah, I'll give you $100,000 to." You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a more prevalent because obviously like UNLV for a long time would never be on the sports books because it wasn't allowed. They weren't allowed to
Because of
bet
this.
on UNLV games.
Oh, really?
Because of that kind of thing. Because for a while back, there's a documentary. ESPN did a 30 for 30 about point shaving situations like that. And it's more likely to happen in college because they're not making money like that.
Right.
But
Well, there was that one mobbed up referee in NBA.
Tim
Yeah.
Donaghy.
Yeah, what happened with him? Like, is he in jail forever?
was.
he cost the Sacramento Kings a championship.
He was in jail. I don't think he's. I
I don't know if he's still there or not.
He did get sentenced.
But what all did he do? Like, how did he?
He
A
caused-
lot of those people that happens to them are people that already have gambling problems, and to get out of the gambling problems is like their debt is they would
Have to
fix
fix a
games.
game.
But that was because that was like not Vegas ones. Those are like mob kind of guys.
You're tied up with the wrong group
Yeah.
of people.
If it could go either way. It could be that since it's more mainstream and it's more regulated through casinos, and you're actually having to put money up rather than go through a bookie where you're basically on a tab. You
Yeah.
get yourself in more trouble that way. If it's more regulated,
Then you end up having to break legs to
Right.
pay back your debt.
I don't know. It could be very interesting. to see
It's
how
going to
things
be
go.
very interesting, I think.
Or you
I'm
got
excited though.
or you got to coach a little league baseball team.
I'm thinking
Like
about
Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm thinking about going pro.
RIPG, baby.
Probably gonna quit
Yeah.
my job and just
So
become
maybe
a
they'll
professional sports
just
bettor.
That'd be so
can't
cool.
bet on college sports.
But they're allowing it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if it's up to the state, can't the state say like,
No college
You can't
sports.
bet
They
on-
could, but there's too much money in it.
Yeah, especially when your line's like 40 points.
yeah,
Well, and the other thing, and this is more for the NFL and like MLB, but they're also the leagues are wanting them to charge a like luxury tax or a betting tax. So if they say win $50 million or $50 million is won by the house for that state's team or whatever team, this MLB wants like 10% of that money now too.
it's understandable.
It's an integrity fee, is what they're calling
Are
it.
they going to do that with colleges?
I don't know if you can do that with college or not. I mean, I don't know if it's different rules or what, but I know for the major league teams and the professional levels, that's what they're wanting to do.
Yeah.
That's wild though.
I'm excited.
I wish you could just open up your own, just like you want to open up a bar, put a sports book in there.
I feel like we could do something that would. We need to step up the sports book game.
Yeah.
As soon as I found out that this was going to happen, I was like, how can I make a lot of money off of this?
Revamp
Like
it.
like a Hooters /sports book.
Yeah.
Ooh, hot ass. Yep. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Keep
I'm into
that.
that.
We'll table that.
Put that one in the back pocket. That one's copywritten. No stealing it from
No
us.
one's going to know.
You heard it here first.
But okay, so you can gamble on sports now.
They're actually saying Kansas and Missouri are two of the states that are probably going to be up and running quickest because they've already put parameters in place to start like the process.
Hell yeah, let's go.
So Kansas and Missouri are like two of 10 or 15 states that they think will be up and running here within the end of the year.
I'm a big fan of that.
East Side St. Louis, obviously.
I'm either gonna be really poor soon or very rich.
Yeah, Eric's gonna have to
toward-
become an enforcer to pay back all his debt. He's gonna be recruiting us. Hey, can you help me break this guy's legs or something?
There's going to be like college spreads, though, that are like 70 points
Yeah.
on football games.
But
Yeah.
it's always been there, and you can always bet. Like you can go online. Like Ryan was saying, it's a $150 billion business or whatever.
So Eric, you're a degenerate.
Absolutely.
So, so when you would make bets here, like online or something,
Yeah.
how does that work?
I mean, I didn't do it a lot. Most of the time, and you basically it's like you just go on the line, and it's just like any sports book or whatever. You have the lines or whatever, and if you can take the money out. It's just like the whole fantasy stuff with
Like the daily fantasy, like
it's
FanDuel
kinda
and
same
stuff?
kind of thing. You can deposit, withdraw money. They send you a tax form if you've made
So much
certain
money.
amount.
Oh, really? That's cool. All right.
So it's just an account online, basically.
Exactly.
Well,
They
what
started
other-
shutting a bunch of them down. That's why this all went down, is because they started shutting down all of these online ones because they were outside the United States, and so they were pissed because they couldn't tax it. And so that's why all this ended up happening. That's why I went to the Supreme Court, because these websites that were getting shut down. were all
Yeah,
just
I had
over
an old coworker I worked with. He had like 60 grand frozen, and he couldn't get it.
Oh, damn.
That he had. Yeah, that
Big
he made.
baller.
there. Yeah, right. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So what,
you know?
What other sports news we got?
Got the NBA Finals.
NBA final. Well,
It's going a little interesting. Yeah, there's the teams that are supposed to be there are there.
Who's
But, It's you
it's
got the
Cavs, Celtics, and Warriors and Rockets.
All right. Right now, it's kind of gone to the point of it hasn't been very exciting because all the games have been blowouts. Both teams are winning, but they're just all been blowouts. Like last night, the Cavs just smoked the Celtics.
What's the problem?
Which
Like-
I'm a big Celtics fan now, by the way. I'm
Are you not a LeBron fan?
No, I'm just well. I like LeBron. I like what he brings to the table. He's the right kind of superstar that you want. But it's played out. It's just too.
I just hate how everybody's on his dick. Like everybody, ESPN, Fox Sports,
Like how they
all
love
of
him?
them are just on his dick all the time. He's
Because
the
you never
greatest,
really
he's
see
the
bad
greatest,
news
he's
about
the
him.
greatest. Well, it's not the. It's just like
You turn on the news and they're
is a
giving
great
LeBron's
player.
take on what happened in Major League Baseball. It's like, why the fuck do I care
Oh,
what
he
LeBron?
can remember the play from about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, but he just got
He
smoked.
called it. Yeah,
Yeah, his team just got smoked, and your guys are excited that he could remember a play that happened 45 minutes ago.
like cool.
He's an
man.
impressive person.
Yeah,
To,
I'm
to-
not-
to
hey,
do what he did
as a role
an
model-
18-year-old and be under the scrutiny that he's been his whole life. It's pretty impressive. how
LeBron is
well he's
probably
Agreed.
the top role model for any kid. Period.
I'm over
He
it.
has never has any kind of issues off the court. You know what I mean? He's a good person. I mean, as far as we know, you know what I mean.
Who
We
knows?
never
Have
hear
their
much
dark
about
sides,
it.
but
We
you
thought Bill
never-
Cosby was a good
He's
person,
very,
too.
very private.
And didn't he marry his
But-
high school sweetheart? And
Yeah. My thing is just like I'm so sick of these comparisons from him and Michael Jordan because it's like two different fucking
It's two different eras.
eras. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there was a time when Wilt Chamberlain was the best player in the league. Well, they didn't play basketball like the way they play basketball now. You know,
Right.
They
back
protect
then.
the shooters a lot more
Yeah,
now
I
than they
mean,
did back in
yeah.
Jordan's days.
big Iverson guy here.
Yeah.
Talking about practice?
Practice. No, but I like the way the Celtics play. They're up right now. As of right now, they're up 2-1 in the series. It's in
Marcus
Cleveland.
Morris on there, killing it right now.
Dude, he backed up his game. He said he was gonna not lock down LeBron, obviously, but in that first game he did put up some good defense. Marcus Smart, I don't know if many of you like
Big
Marcus
flopper.
Smart. Yeah.
I love
But
Marcus
dude,
Smart.
I got so much respect for him after game 2 when he got in JR. So basically, he just got in the guy's face. He was just standing up for his guy.
Well, yeah, he
put-
straight up shoved Al Horford
Yeah, just
when he was going for a rebound or going for a layup. Just shoved him. You know what I mean? And he fell to the ground pretty hard. Who knows? He probably embellished it a little bit, to get the foul. But still, you can't just push. He's like a defensive player. It's like in the
he was
NFL,
completely
defensive
defenseless. He was
player.
up in the air, just shoved him from behind. It was they called a flagrant foul on it, but Marcus Smart immediately went straight and got into was it J.R. Smith?
Yeah, J.R.
right in his
Smith.
face.
I
just
like that.
Immediately, big fan. And Brad Stevens is an awesome coach. And then
Yeah, he's only like 36 or some
Yeah.
shit too.
and
And they're doing all this
they're
without two of their best players.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly best players.
No, they're
Before the
definitely
year started.
Oh yeah, after they
Well,
both.
Kyrie Irving's just one of the
Got
best players in the basketball
Right.
period. And then
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
So he is.
Who had a disgusting
They're
leg
gonna
break.
be be crazy good. Like that in the future.
It's like that Paul George leg break in that USA game a long time ago. He just snapped his fibula and tibia
Oh yeah.
right in half.
Or the guy
Oh,
in the
man.
Final Four
From
the
Louisville.
guy.
Bone went through the skin.
So, and then the other series is Golden State and Houston, which is basically just a score fest. Like they're just scoring left and
I-
right on
I-
each other. It's
I
fun to
think-
watch, but
Yeah,
You know what's
I
fun
think
to
in my
watch?
opinion that one.
Next
that's
time
like
you
the
watch
championship.
James Harden, watch how many steps he takes when
Oh, God,
when he steps
travel.
back. It's a really fucking touchy situation because like they give him an extra step because I guess he's gathering the ball as he shoots, but he'll take like 3 steps back and then jack up a 3 and drain it and then like get all excited. I'm just like. Nobody can guard that because you just like
I
walk
don't-
5 feet. You know what I mean? It's fun to watch. it,
dribbling
but-
is an afterthought in the NBA these
Oh,
days. It's
God.
literally
So
like,
I don't
Steve-
watch
Steve's
much
going to be
of it.
really good then.
yeah.
Still bitter about that.
Oh, he's done it multiple times too. I mean, when when you watch it in game, I understand how the refs have missed him traveling like that until like you see the replay and you're like, yeah, he walked like the entire half of the court. He walked the entire half
Had
of
a
the
great
court.
combine yesterday.
Like I said,
We watched
dribbling is optional now in
Yeah.
the NBA.
So what about NHL?
It's
Oh, Vegas.
Vegas Knights.
Vegas
my
Knights.
team.
I don't know what the score is right now,
But they're about to.
they're potentially on their way to the
One
Stanley
more
Cup.
win and they're in.
They're on their way
That's
to the
pretty
Stanley
cool,
Cup
and that'd
if
be
they
the.
win.
I think you said it last week. They'd be the first expansion team.
I don't
First
think expansion
inaugural-
team's ever gone as far as they are now.
Yeah, first expansion team ever in any sport to make it to the finals. Or they're the first ones to even make it to the
Not
where
many
they're
have
at.
even made it to a playoff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
They're winning.
They're winning right
So-
now, as of now.
Yeah, when this comes out, though.
It'll be decided pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, maybe because if they do end up losing the game that's playing today, then they still would have the potential to win before. But then they would also, I don't think they played their Game 7 until like Thursday. So
Right on. So that's interesting. And Royals are still being Royals.
Royals are the Royal.
Danny W got pounded yesterday.
And they got pounded today, lost 10-1.
And nothing.
They did win on Friday, though.
Jacob
Yeah,
Junis.
great-
Jacob
Junis.
Junis guy.
Junis is the future.
And nothing but from the Chiefs.
Well, actually, the future threw out the first pitch.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good one too. Didn't bounce it. Was a pretty good strike to home plate. What did you say Alex Smith would have done?
Oh, Alex Smith definitely would have thrown over to first instead.
Check down
Check
for
down.
Chase.
Threw a
Our
strike, though.
rankings came out, though, for the Chiefs. I think they have us at 17th.
17th. What?
I thought we were
I thought
higher
we were
than
like
that.
10.
No,
Yeah.
they're worried about Mahomes. Last I looked, it was 17.
Schaefer had
Yeah, you
10.
got nothing to worry
I
about.
saw one a
Mahomes
while
first.
ago that we were like top 10.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Just outside, which would be technically a
But
wild
that
card.
could be like Mayock.
Did you guys see the picture of
Power
Derek
rankings or
Johnson
something.
in his Raider uniform?
I don't want to.
Block
Makes
that
me
out.
sick.
I'd rather not talk about that.
Makes me so
Still
sick
hurting
to my
about that.
Block
stomach.
that out.
Fucking asshole.
Well,
Just kidding.
before we get to the close of the show, I want to remind everyone to shop at Amazon. You can do that by going to brosouptime.com, clicking on the microphone in the top right-hand corner. When you do that, that takes you to Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything extra. They just send us a little bit back on their end, and that's a great way you can support the show. Another great way you can support the show is by liking us on Facebook at BroSoupTime, Instagram at BroSoupTime, and Twitter at BroSoupTime. And just share all our posts.
and
Tell
we
your
want
friends.
comments.
Yeah, and leave comments. We want to hear from you guys.
You guys throw something out there, we're probably going to talk about you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to grow this show. You can be a part of it. Help us out by sharing our content. The videos we've been getting privately, we've been getting texts or Snapchat messages saying, "Hey, love your guys' videos. Hey, share those fuckers."
Yeah.
Don't just tell us, tell everyone else.
Looking at you, single listener in Mexico.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, exactly. What's up with Mexico? We still
You
have one?
want to go back?
Yeah, we still got one in there.
He didn't tell any of the amigos?
But you know what's above that though? Sweden. Hey, you over there in Sweden and India. Got one guy in India.
One guy in India.
Out of the 3 billion.
Yeah. Tell a
Got to
friend.
get that market somewhere.
Tell a fucking friend.
How many we got in Sweden?
Yeah, I mean, it's one listener that's listening to everything.
Oh, good for them.
One guy in
Yeah.
Sweden
That's
or
fucking
lady.
Crazy.
Love you, Sweden.
Love you,
Sweden
Sweden.
Ooh, it's a lady.
If you're going to leave a comment, make it ridiculous.
Tell us what you want us to talk about. You guys can control the show. If you guys want us to talk about something, we'll probably fucking talk about it. We'll
Want
give
us to
you
talk
what you
about more
want.
butt licking, then we'll do that.
Yeah, if you need to talk, you need me to give a really in-depth ass-eating tutorial.
I think that happened enough.
I
last
will.
We might never need to go down that route.
But it's that time of the show. We got to do an FMK. Fuck, marry, kill. We have Olivia Munn, Olivia Wilde, and Emma Stone. You have to fuck one, marry one, kill one.
I think I've got this one.
So hard.
There you
I
go.
feel like I've got this one
Really?
already.
That's
Normally you
I already
like-
got it,
Yeah.
too.
You've been
No,
thinking
really?
about this one the whole show, haven't you?
I'm marrying Olivia Wilde because she's a smoke show, and she's dating Jason Sudeikis, who also went to Shawnee Mission West. Who
More into
him and I are
Jason
kind of
Are you more in Sudeikis?
no.
than
So I
Wilde?
feel like him and I've got a lot in common because we went to the same high school. We're
From
funny
the same
guys.
area.
We're good-looking men.
I'll tell you right
Just
now,
want
you guys are going to get a
threesome.
lot of fights about politics. I'll tell you that right now.
That's why we just don't talk about it. And we just have sex.
There you go. Speaking of sex, who you fucking?
Fucking Emma Stone killing Olivia Munn,
No.
How dare you?
dude. She is a crazy, crazy bitch.
in
She's the reason why Aaron Rodgers stopped talking to his entire family for like 2 or 3 years. Whenever
That's
they
his fault. That's
That's his
nothing, not hers.
Mine's actually the exact same as Ryan's.
Really?
Yeah,
What are your
man.
reasons? What's your reasoning?
I'm going Stone because redhead. I mean,
Okay.
Thank you.
they're going to be. You don't want to marry that. Don't get me wrong. Let's get that on the table right now.
God, damn, I take a beating on this fucking show.
Brian, you know I love
Can't
redheads.
can't marry Colby or Lauren now.
I'm a redhead fan.
Redhead. That's you're going to have sex with a redhead because they're crazy, obviously, right? Is that true, Eric?
I mean, in his experience,
Bronson's turn.
Oh, he hasn't finished yet.
No, that's it. Mine's the exact same as Ryan's.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess I'll. Oh God, I'm gonna fuck Wild, Olivia Wilde. No, I mean she just looks really good. But then I'm gonna marry Munn, Olivia Munn, just to show Aaron Rodgers what's up. Like,
There it
hey,
is.
you
There
fucked
it
up,
is.
son.
Right,
You
Established
fucked up.
dominance.
Yeah.
So-
You're just going to flex while you're behind her or something?
Yeah, I mean his
put
time.
her in a
jersey.
Chiefs jersey.
Yeah, his time's coming up, and
Discount
he's
double
gotta
dick.
retire soon. I might take his job. You know,
No,
that
that's-
might be part of the requirement.
That's very fair.
After we go play football
And-
in
Yeah.
high school again.
Well, you guys know who I'm gonna kill.
Emma
Sorry,
Stone.
Ryan.
Emma Stone.
Okay, where are you going?
All right. Well, I'm pretty different than most of you guys. I'm gonna marry Emma Stone.
Yeah, knew that one.
Yeah, no shocker.
Anyways, moving on. I'm gonna fuck Mun and kill Wild.
Okay.
I'm not.
Why are you killing Wild?
I think Mun's super hot.
Oh, so sexy.
Obviously,
And she's a
It's
nerd.
more of just that's the last one of them. I think Mun's super hot, and I'm big time in a redhead. So
There you
that's how I
go.
do.
Bad.
I'm gonna fuck Emma Stone, marry Munn, and kill Wild.
Boom.
I think Wild,
Slap hands.
she's pretty. I don't
Watch
think
where those
she's-
hands have been.
I'm more worried
I
about
think
Lauren's
she's
hands.
pretty, but I don't think she's like all that. You know what I mean? No.
Mine's actually in order. I'm marrying Munn, fucking Wild, killing Stone.
What do you have against Stone?
I think the other two are hotter. That's the only thing. Yeah. And I'm super into Munn.
Dude, I remember
she's
her
in
when she
love.
was on G4
And she-
TV.
yeah, she's a nerdy girl, too.
Yeah.
She's a dirty
Yeah.
girl.
Can we tag her?
Nerdy.
Maybe she'll
No, I
talk
think
to us.
she's
so-
I was like, wait, I thought Jason said she's a dirty girl. I was like, what do you know?
She was a hot host on the old G4. Remember that gaming channel? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, they would have like gaming news and shit. She was a host on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. That's our
Good job.
Fuck, Marry, Kill. That's the show this week. We love you guys. Remember, share the show with everyone you know. They need to know what we're doing. If you're going to shop at Amazon, use our link. We love you. We're out. Bye.